Alright, so is my review of SH Figuarts Aragorn. So this is a recent release. I just got mine from Ami. Came today. And cost me about $75 with shipping, 90. So you're honestly probably okay just buying him in the States. If you're in the US, he's probably going to come to around like 90-ish. In the US with shipping, probably 100. So not a huge difference. But you would get him quicker from Japan if you ordered him from one of those sites. Let's get right into the review and let's take a look at him. So before I forget, let's just do some quick measurements. And we'll just give him a measurement to the top of his head. And looks like he's about 6¼ inches on the dot. So that seems about right. I think the actor for Aragorn is 5'11", if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong there, but a bit on the taller side. Vigo is, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he's 6 feet. I think scale is just fine. So I think you'd fit in with your 1/12 lines, no problem. And just do a quick weight measurement. Definitely feels good in the hand. Yeah, he's definitely got some weight on him. So 2.72 ounces. Definitely has that premium feel. Doesn't feel like a model kit. Feels very substantial, premium quality for sure. Yeah, and let's take a quick look at him. Just get a closer look at his face for starters. Now, I've wanted a 1/12 Aragorn for years. And the trouble with Aragorn is that Vigo's likeness is very hard to pull off. And you could really see it, and I guess kind of like the lighting I have here, I'm not really seeing the likeness to Vigo with the Figuarts here. It's very tough to pull off, but at this price point, I did expect a little bit better here. It doesn't look like the actor to me. I don't see Vigo in this figure, which is unfortunate. So it's hard to pull him off. Like if you look at the in-art figure that they did of Aragorn, which is a $400 1/6 scale figure, that looks exactly like the actor. But again, different price point. For the 1/12 market, I think Figuarts should have done better here. Because this is commanding a pretty hefty price tag, despite being 1/12. So a little disappointing there. So take a look at the rest of him. Other than that, I think the details on his outfit, very well done. Like his kind of jerkin here, that kind of necklace that I think her name is Arwen. It's been ages since I've seen Lord of the Rings gave him. Very nice texturing, like the individual knots, exceptional. These are all like soft plastic also, including this piece. Now, I wish this was a little bit more flexible, you know, and be careful posing him. I'll talk about this like when I go over the articulation, because could have been a little bit more flexible, but yeah, so these are all soft plastics, which is still kind of nice. This kind of overcoat, it looks like real leather. Like it has that kind of like texturing on it, so that's great. Nice satin finish throughout also. Figuarts definitely did some kind of shady stuff with their promo pics. And I think they really made him look much better than he looks like in person. So they definitely did something there. Like his eyes are definitely popping out more, like on the box art, than the actual figure. The beard actually has better texturing, I think, also in the promo art too. If you notice, the forehead wrinkles are completely gone, whereas on the figure, it's very kind of like prominent. So that's very unfortunate. And I think this is something Figuarts does. Like, see, that looks like Vigo. So there's no question that Figuarts can do this. And see, I have it right up close, but this is heavily edited, I think. And then if you compare it to the figure, I think it's like kind of like a night and day difference. It does not look the same for me. I'll just kind of, just so you could really see that. So very disappointing, because it could have been an excellent figure. It's, as it stands now, it's decent figure. But let's get on with the rest of the review. Articulation, so his head's on a nice double ball joint. No more of those crappy ball swivels that Figuarts has been using. So that's good. Very nice tension on the joints too. Like, you don't need to really crank on it to get the head off, anything like that. Let's see the arms. So it does have a butterfly joint. Arms do come out if you finagle with them. Very smooth joints. Could have been a bit better on the elbow joint here, but that's about as much as you're going to get. Torso joint, there's only the ball joint in the kind of torso here. And there's nothing else, so there's no cut like at the rib cage, nothing, so that's unfortunate. So that's about as much as you're going to get in terms of like torso movement. That's it. And back is even less because of the jacket. So he's pretty bricked off. I think they could have done better for sure. So that's a little disappointing. And you do get a little bit of side to side. Again, it's kind of hindered by the jacket, but you do get a little bit of kind of shimmying there. Legs kick up. Now be careful here, and this is what concerns me. Be very careful when you're posing this guy, because I could probably guess that this has stress on it, this kind of junction right here. So be careful, like kicking his legs out. I'd say go easy with that. This is a very ugly joint, I think. They're capable of better than this instead of just doing this kind of lazy, rounded off joint. And the range it affords is unacceptable. So that's just a 90-degree bend at the knee for a $90 figure. And you can see that ugly kind of metal kind of pin also, which is, I don't like that. And even when his legs extended, you could see that. That's like 2014 stuff if you've been collecting Figuarts till then. No boot cut. You do get a thigh swivel, so you get a thigh swivel there, and you do get a drop down on the thigh. So not the most useful thing. Not really a fan of those in general. Now, this is probably one of the worst decisions on this figure. The ankle joint is pretty lousy. So I'm not sure why they did this. And this is an example of kind of Figuarts just shooting themselves in the foot for no reason. And this didn't have to happen, but they kind of went way back in time with the ankles, and they're using the ball swivel. So ball swivels are, you know, for lack of better words, for ankles especially, dog shit. And the reason is because they like to snap. And especially Figuarts', if you look at the way they kind of engineer these, there's like a little gap there. That's where it likes to snap. And ankles, wrists are so sensitive. If you torque on this the wrong way, it could easily snap. So that's a weak point. That's like a stress point right there. The Naruto figures don't use this. And the Naruto figures are the ones that got ankles right. So the team working on the Naruto figures, well done, because those figures are probably the best right now. As far as Figuarts goes, this is just kind of like ridiculous. Like, there needs to be communication. And I think this is just kind of evidence that there's like different people working on like different IPs here, because this guy's pretty bricked off for a $90 figure. Now, and you know, I'm really going to get into the weeds here, because his ankle swivel, it's there, but the way they put that peg in, it's at the wrong angle. Like, okay, just a little articulation 101. If you want a good ankle cut, like an ankle swivel, it has to go into the foot at like an angle like this. That's how you get like that rocker movement. So this is more just kind of going straight down. Do you see that? It's not going in at the correct angle. Like, you want it to go in the foot like this, not down like this. So it's very hard to get his ankles. Like, you could finagle with it, but it's not as seamless as it should be. And it's unfortunate at this price, because for me, if you don't do the ankle correctly, the rest of the figure's articulation is just going to suffer in general. It's just kind of like a pain to get him to stand like confidently. So big minus there. Very unfortunate. Wrists are just on typical ball swivels. That's, you know, most figures do that. No complaints there. Is his neck on a joint? Yeah, his neck, and just, yeah, so his neck does have an articulation too. And there's a ball joint there also. But one positive is that didn't have to heat this guy at all. Very smooth out of the box. So good job there for sure. That's always a pain when you deal with overly tight joints. None of that here. Very smooth. Just the design choices a bit poor in areas that are very important. I have to find the Diamond Select Aragorn I have just for comparison. Different scale, but I'll see if I could just throw in a few pics for the gallery there. But anyway, let's talk about his accessories. And in terms of his accessories, he comes with a good amount. He does come with a cloak. Very nicely done. It has the wires and things in it. He does come with Anduril. Well, no, this would be his ranger sword. So this is before he took Anduril. So this is his actual, like, you know, Fellowship of the Ring ranger sword. It does look a bit short, in my opinion. Like, I was pretty sure this is a long sword. Like, I thought it was a lot longer than this, but I had to take a look at the movie again, just some screens from it. He does come with a quiver. It comes with kind of like a hiking stick. So that stick does detach from that kind of like roll. So that's pretty cool, I think. He does come with a bedroll. So, you know, just follow the instructions on how to get it on him. They give like a little instruction sheet. Just make sure you follow that. Don't force anything. And really, I emphasize this, read the instructions, because otherwise you're going to break something. It does come with a set of hands you see here. So some open hands, sword gripping hands. Yeah. Now, the alternate faceplate that he comes with, honestly, I think it's not the best. Like, I think his neutral face is much better. This one definitely does not look like Aragorn, in my opinion. He does come with that kind of like elven knife. I thought that's cool. Now, one thing that kind of annoys me is the fact that they don't use real sheaths on these figures. Like, it's this stupid thing where the hilt snaps off and you just kind of put that hilt piece away while you have him drawing his sword. Why can't you just put a real sheath? Revoltech does it. Why can't you do it? You're in the same price point. Not really acceptable. Third-party figures do it. You're not special. Like, that's such a stupid cop-out feature, and it's just them cost-cutting. Like, you know, give us real sheaths. That's it. Figma used to do it. Now they're kind of following the same route because some genius found out, hey, we could save a few bucks here, but screw us though in the process. Anyway, so accessories overall are decent, I think. Not bad at all. Let's just talk about his overall value. I'd say the value proposition is not the greatest. For me, this is kind of like a must buy just because I need a Aragorn in my collection. I was obsessed with Aragorn since I was like 8, like when I first saw the movie. So if Lord of the Rings is your thing, if you're obsessed with the movie, definitely get him. But from an objective kind of viewpoint, the likeness is not there to the actor, in my opinion. And from far away, I think, like, you know, yeah, you know it's Aragorn. But if you're like a fan of Aragorn, then you know, okay, not so much Aragorn. Not really worth the price tag. Probably should be around $70-ish, including shipping, in my opinion, and just my honest opinion. I understand licensing and all that. I don't care about that. And at the end of the day, we don't need to make the price make sense. We don't need to kind of like do mental gymnastics to figure out why the cost is what it is. It has to be worth it to us. So I don't care about licensing. I don't care about tooling or any of that other crap that people like to talk about. Do I feel like I'm getting my money's worth? I think that's the only question anyone watching these reviews actually cares about. For me, a bit high, but again, Aragorn fan, so not a big deal. I'm gonna get him. Yeah, so that's about it. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching. Take care.